Okay, this doesn't mean I figured everything out because there's still Chevron, but British Petroleum is the Camelot's green lines. It's British Petroleum. Doesn't mean I figured it out, but it goes along with everything else being like petrols is the name for petrol and spirits. Petrol is the name for a witch in Celtic. Petrol and spirits are like, you know how we can drink alcohol, the ones that explode like gasoline, turpentine. Turpentine comes from trees and probably wouldn't be mentioned. Kerosene, diesel. Those are petrol and spirits. Turpentine is an example, but it's not in the Camelot mythos. Morgana was a petrol. Petrol and spirits, like, you know, ones have fiery temposity, right? The fiery temposity is like the rocks that you choose for their crystalline structure and hardness, that have like a stone. You can't even tell it's a crystal, and it has fiery temposities. Granite is one, and it's a crystal, and basalt, which sounds like salt, but it's actually, I don't know what that deal is with that. It's a stone. So the Grail stone is and it became the Grail cup later, but the Grail stone, and the search for the Holy Grail was a Grail stone, and later on it's a cup. But it interacts with all the religions. Like, this Galahad of Percival was buried on the estates of Joseph of Arimathea, who was the king of the spice route, and invited Galahad of Percival to after his quest for the Grail cup, right? And that's the same one who it's the same thing with Jesus. But Jesus wasn't invited because, you know, Jesus was already dead, right? Before he was buried for 3 days, right? He reborn later, right? So you can know all this information, and it's like, it's outside of Abrahamic or whatever. It's like how you're outside of it because you can no longer be brought back in, because it's the same knowledge. Exxon, Shell, British Petroleum, what is Chevron? I know those are like symbols for like rank and stuff, rank and file. But you notice how like Arthur had rank and file. The Joker, who came from Camelot, the Joker in Camelot, had a rank and file, even though he was a jester. His mother knitted his uniform, you know, to go out and fight, and she knitted jingle bells in his uniform, so he would get laughed out of his regiment, and then he would not have to go on campaigns and see that much battle. But because he was making the men laugh, Arthur demanded that he be at his side at all times, so he can find out why. You know, why does he make the men laugh? And he would be my fool. You know, it's like just something like similar to Trump or whatever. It's actually Trump energy, because Trump card is the wild card. It's the wild card energy. So how can you keep people from that? It's just like there are some forces that unscramble your matrix, and maybe that's why they're spraying so much manganese up there or something, because it's trying to keep the cosmic forces from unraveling your matrix, so that you can grow green lawns instead of I should know what it's called. The name for there's a European name for mounds, because it's still a jet pillar whether they know it or not. And the difference between Choctaw mounds and those is like a projection of how long that you're going to use it for, the energy or for growing crops or both. So you can't visit the Choctaw mounds. They're off, you know what I mean? It's like these areas. And then the thing about the floating gardens is the thing that's going to stand in your way of building floating gardens is Army Corps of Engineers. And then there's some argument for what those things do to pull in like carcinogens and like toxins, microplastics. What are all these kind of things will like drawn toward it, and kind of like you know how like the zinc nail dissolves and you just replace it because it's feeding an ecology that consumes that. And it's like you know you don't want to overuse zinc because it'll, you know, so you just use a nail and wait till it dissolves. You don't overload it. And it's like you wiring your gardens up. Go buy, go shopping, go shop.